But Mayweather will face the biggest, strongest opponent of his career without the presence of his longtime trainer, his Uncle Roger. Last April's long-awaited Mayweather-Zab Judah bout began without incident, but when the night was over, Roger would be a key combatant in one of the uglier episodes in boxing memory.
Floyd seemed to understand that, at least at the beginning of the fight, Zab could match his hand speed.
This is not the Zab Judah who fought Carlos Baldomir in New York.
Then as the fight went on, Floyd gradually opened up and eventually had Judah at the end of a tether, basically doing what he wanted to do with him.
I told Floyd what was going to happen once you started getting up in that ass. Zab Judah has a history of trying to impose street justice in a situation that he's lost control of.
There's a low blow by Judah.
At that point, there was an intrusion into the ring.
And now Roger Mayweather wants to come after Zab. And now Leonard Ellerbe wants Yoel Judah. And a riot is going to break out in the ring. Law enforcement authorities in the ring to try to break it up. Bunch of hotheads in there.
Floyd Mayweather showed his maturity. He stood in the corner. He watched. Floyd Mayweather had become a mature fighter.
Honestly, I ain't finna get involved with this shit and fuck my money up. I think Floyd Mayweather Jr. handled it correctly and coolly by staying out of it, but his uncle suffered the consequences. I didn't do nothing. And on top of that, I never hit Zab Judah. Zab Judah jumped on my neck.
Floyd prevailed in a unanimous decision, while his uncle was fined $200,000 and handed a year-long suspension. But for Roger, things would get far worse. In September, he was sentenced to 6 months in prison after allegedly striking a woman during a July altercation. The Baldomir bout will mark the first time Mayweather hasn't been trained by his uncle in 6 years. Floyd's longtime cornermen, Leonard Ellerbe and Rafael Garcia, have assumed interim control of Mayweather's camp.
This fight could get tough. This fight could get very tense in the late rounds.
You hit the good jab and keep taking with the hook.
There might come a moment in this fight when Floyd would feel more secure if he could have Roger's voice in his ear. It is going to hurt Floyd not to have Roger.
By Roger not being in the corner, obviously we're disappointed about it, but it's going to be business as usual. And like we said all along, we're going to line them up one by one, and he's going to whoop their ass one by one.
On November 4th, the world's greatest boxer faces the sport's most improbable hero. As the countdown concludes, a battle beckons.
Whoever you put him in with, who's going to win? Floyd Mayweather.
What a display of skill by Mayweather.
I mean, so far in his career, if you would have just said Floyd Mayweather every time, and you were a betting man, you'd have made a lot of money.
Floyd's the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, and there's no such thing as a number two.
Brilliant stuff from Pretty Boy Floyd.
36 fighters have tried in a decade, and all of them have failed. November 4th, he will try, and he will fail.
Floyd has yet to be in with a big, strong, rugged, natural welterweight. Let's be very clear about this. There is one welterweight champion of the world. His name is Carlos Baldomir.
Yes, Baldomir can beat Mayweather. I think he's knockout-proof. His chin is granite.
And a left hook upstairs by Gaddy. Baldomir walks right through it.
I don't know that many people give him a chance, and that's unfair. Because guess what? He's got a hell of a chance.
A steel beam could hit him and it wouldn't knock him out.
You could hit him in the head with a sledgehammer, and you're not going to hurt him.
If Floyd goes in there and tries to fight him straight up and just throw punches at him all day, Floyd is going to get knocked out.
Floyd's facing a real deal welterweight in this fight. I mean, this guy is no pushover. Anybody that thinks that is crazy.
This is a guy who walks around at about 185 pounds. He has to sweat down 40 pounds to get to welterweight. It makes him angry, it makes him surly, it makes him really pissed off, it enhances him as a fighter.
I think this is one of the most intriguing fights in years. It could conceivably rank right up there with some of the greatest upsets in the history of boxing.
If Baldomir beats Mayweather, even if he never does another thing in his life, he has lived an extraordinary life.
There's no way in the world that Floyd is going to put this man on his back. This is a fight to the finish for Floyd Mayweather.
Let's get ready to rumble!
1 week after Baldomir Mayweather, World Championship Boxing returns live to HBO. Heavyweight title holder Vladimir Klitschko defends his belt against undefeated Calvin Brock. That's November 11th, live on HBO.
This has been a presentation of HBO Sports.